This video has been a long time coming, but this is our house hunting video because golly, we have been house hunting since July 2020, and spoiler alert, we found our house and I'm sitting in it and it's lovely, but it was a long journey getting here. So would you like to hear our journey? All right, 11. We went through 11 houses to get here. Here we go. The first home we went through was a typical starter home. I mean, we walked into that thing and we went, well, it's nice, but maybe if we were just, you know, on our first kid or something. But not for an established family of 4. Not gonna happen. It was really well put together, honestly, but there were rooms that should not have been rooms. There were two or three rooms that should not have been rooms. There were 2 rooms upstairs that were lovely. One was kind of smallish, but had a triple bunk in it. That was cool. And then there was the master bedroom, which was fine. And then you went down into this creepy basement. And they had a room down there that I don't think it had a window. Pretty sure it was all a cellar and did not have a window. There was like a creepy playroom down there, just in the main area, that was like not carpeted or floored. It was just like concrete, but with like boards and stuff played. It was creepy. And I was like, pass, hard pass, because attached to it, well, next to it was a detached garage that they had turned part of it into an office space, which was really cool and would have made a really cool either man cave or lady loft space. So that was hard. And they had kittens there. There were kittens running about in the backyard, like these little feral things that I just wanted to keep. Anyway, so it was pretty much an easy pass. So it was right across the street from a park. Unfortunately, it was across the street, so like kids running, I'm gonna go to the park, no! You know, terrifying. Anyway, we didn't go for that. Next one was this house that had a huge lot. It was, well, I mean, huge for like an in-town lot. It was 1.75 acres, which is pretty dang big for our price range. And we really would love some land. It would be great. Ari is obsessed with horses, as am I, and I really want a cow someday. I want a cow. I love cows. It's a really weird obsession. I know it is. Everyone tells me it is. I understand that. I can't get over it. So we found this place with lots of land, but the house was totally dysfunctional. It was a nice house. It was well kept. There were a couple things. They had the house under contract before, and when it went under contract, the person's like, well, I'm gonna bring in all my own appliances, so if you want to get these out of here, that'd be fine. And so they got rid of all the appliances, like the fridge. And then the sale fell through, and they're just like, great, now we have an applianceless house. Awesome. And we don't have appliances to bring into it. So we said, well, that's too bad. Also, there were only 2 rooms. And while we were living in 2 rooms in the trailer, the idea was to upgrade with the house to get like more rooms so that my little girl can have her own room instead of sharing with 3 boys. Yeah, so that wasn't great, but they had an upstairs in this house. But the way to get upstairs was outside and up this rickety staircase that wasn't safe. So we said, gonna pass. Though it was such a hard pass because of the land. Oh, the land. Anyway, that one did sell. Actually, both those first 2 sold, finally. Took the first one a long time to sell, but it did sell. Nice modular. Oh, there was this nice modular that we went to see the same day we saw the huge lot one. And I mean, it was a modular, so you know what you expect from a basic double wide modular kind of thing. But it was just like, meh. And the lot was so small, and it was already under contract, but they're like, if it falls through, we can put you on the list. And we're like, well, no. So we passed on that one. It wasn't like this, it wasn't really one that we were attached to. We liked the location, but besides that, we weren't really like, So we passed on that pretty easy. Oh, then we found a house that we really liked. My only issues with it was that all the kids' bedrooms were in the basement. Ideally, no basement living. Anyway, so we really liked this house, and we went through the day it listed because things here were like gone. They'd get on the market and they were gone. Anything good was on the market and they gone, and it was so extremely frustrating. So this one went on the market. We called we had a realtor for that, and we called him and he said, oh, I can't get down there right now, but can I set you up with a different realtor that can help take you through? And so we talked to her and she's like, well, could we do it tomorrow? Because like things aren't gonna go that fast. I'm like, they freaking will go that fast. We'll get us in tonight or we will burn your place to the ground. I don't know. Anyway, I was like freaking serious. I'm like, we're going through this. So she got us through it, and it was lovely and it was beautiful, and we really liked it. And so we put an offer in that night, and we got it. We got that house. Well, we were under contract for that house, and we're like, we're gonna get a house. And then things were just not lining up with the loan stuff, and they're like, we'd like you to have more work history for the current employer. And we're like, well, we're not gonna make these people sit around on their house not selling to us while we get more employment history for them. And so we let that one go because we thought, you know what, they could sell it to someone else a lot faster, and we don't want to be the people holding them up. And that was actually a really hard choice for us to make. Then there was the dream house. Well, I mean, it wasn't the perfect home, but it was the perfect location. It was right next door to our really good friends who we hang out with like weekly. Like, we hang out with them all the time. So it also had 4 acres on it. It's big. I mean, it's a good piece of property, and it's in the town that we would absolutely love to live in, and I hope one day we will live in that town. Yeah. Anyway, it was dreamy, and it was out of our price range, but it was being sold by someone we knew, and it wasn't astronomically out of our price range. It wasn't way out there. They were selling it way under its market value. So we put in an offer and said, look, this is the best we can do. We really want this. But they decided to go with someone else who came in with a crazy big offer and just wiped everyone else off the board. So turns out we weren't even players. We tried. Actually, we then met those people when we were visiting our friends, and they were like, yeah, it looks like there was another offer in, but we wiped them out. And we're like, wait, where'd that offer? You suck. Anyway, that was not a great day. So a few days later, I was back in the game. Robert wasn't as gung-ho because he was really sad about that one. But I said, let's go look at another house. Let's just get back in there. And so we went and looked at what is best described as a straight up meth house. It was awful. It was so bad. It was definitely gonna crumble apart. And also the property lines were weird because the guy next door owned like half of the house. The house just went over the property line because it was a weird splitting of the property when someone's dad died. But that place was sketch. It was so freaky, and there was stuff still in the house, and I was like, I'm gonna go upstairs, and they're like, are you sure? I'm like, I'm gonna go find out. And I went upstairs, and it was just like so bad, and there was like feces everywhere, and it was it was not even a project. It was a tear it down, burn everything, burn it all. Yeah, definitely a no. That was a quick no. Then we went to Robert's ideal house, the house he wanted probably more than any other house that we went to, because it had a shop that was pretty much as big as the house. It was huge. It was this big shop. It was on 1/3 of an acre, which is a decent sized lot around here. And I mean, the house was fine. It was not my like dream house. It would have worked. But that shop had his heart. Actually, we did put an offer. We put an offer in for that house, but it was lower than they were asking. And so they're like, you know what? We're just gonna kind of wait it out and see how it is. I don't think it's even sold yet though. Just too bad. I hope they do sell it soon. Anyway, we didn't get that house, so we went and looked at a couple more houses like a few days later. Like, we were just like looking at houses like no one's freaking business. This next house was, yeah, the freaky rental house. I'm actually not too certain why I called it freaky rental, but that's what I wrote it down as. The ceilings were like that. I mean, like, I'm sitting, but they were like, when you stood, were like that. I could just pat them. Yeah, ceilings were really low in the kitchen, but it had been redone in some parts of the house, but not others. And there were like really tiny hallways that you had to sort of squeeze through. It was just like, it was a project. It would have been a project. That's just not what I need right now. I need a house, not another project. So, I don't know, we talked about that one a little bit, but it was pretty well a pass. Then we went and walked through our house. And when we walked through it, I just kept thinking, I love this. I love this. This feels so good. This feels so right. I love this. And just like everything just kept like stacking on. I love this. I love this. I want this. And like the ceilings are 10-foot ceilings, and it just feels so open and wonderful. And I told Robert as we were walking out of the house, I said, I want this house. I want this house. I need this house. I love this house. He's like, okay. And I'm like, I need this house. Anyway. See if I can finish this up real quick. Okay, so like I was saying before my battery died, I was in love. I was absolutely in love with this house. So we put an offer in, and the way we had to finance things, they weren't so like extremely excited about our offer. So anyway, well, we got under contract, and then things just weren't working out the way we wanted to, so we pulled out of the contract. And then we went and looked at 2 more houses. One was a straight up grandma house. It was beautifully kept, but it was like walking out of a time machine into, I don't even know what time, but it was vintage and delightful. But yeah, it was a no. Then there was another house that had 2 rooms, like 2 figured out rooms, and then like a weird, this could be a room, but we're using it as a pantry right now. And it was just, the stair, like you open the door and the stairs went straight up into this attic that was a bedroom. And it was just like, there was no stair rail. It was weird, and I didn't like it. So those just weren't doing it for us. And so we were waiting and waiting. Like, I say waiting and waiting. We were like waiting a week. I was like, I can't get that house out of my head. I need it. So we talked to our loan people. We sort of shifted things around a little bit, and we made a new offer, a better offer, and they accepted. And then we worked through months and, well, a month, over a month. Rasmus, just eat it. We worked through over a month, like a month and a half of agony, because we didn't have a realtor for this. This was for sale by owner, and so I learned a lot of new things about purchasing a house and everything a realtor does, and it's not fun. And they kept being like, oh, you know what, we suddenly need this paperwork that we could have told you about weeks ago but didn't. and is going to put off your loan by another week or so. Why don't you give me a list of everything that you need at the beginning and I will just send it all to you and then you could just get this done in time. So we were 2.5 weeks past contract date to get into this house, and it was just a royal nightmare. I had like 2 weeks of nights where I was just waking up in a panic thinking we weren't gonna get our house and that I hadn't done something, and just like, oh. And there was very little I could do at the end, where it just seemed like they would do anything to keep us out of this house. Not the sellers, but the loan people. It felt like they really didn't want us to do this. And like at the beginning we had prayed and said, look, if this is right, let it happen. If it's not right, stop it. And all the times that it just kept getting kind of muffed up, I thought, is this you saying no? But then it always worked out. I said, Kurt, this is just test of faith. This is just big old trial. And that's what it was, because it never got stopped. We were always still going. It just seemed like they were always just pushing it further away, and it felt forever. Felt like forever, and now we have it. Now we're here. Now I'm in here. And there are boxes everywhere. But I'm happy because I'm in my house. I'm in my home. I can put pictures up on the walls. It seems a strange thing to be so excited about, but when you live in a trailer, there is no place to put pictures up. And it's odd. I don't know. It's a strange thing. Anyway, but now I get to do that again, and I'm really, 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 really excited. And I have a yard, a little yard. It's a small yard, but it's mine. And we're gonna put a fence around it because my children are crazy. I guess that concludes our house hunting journey. I will be doing an empty house tour in a week. I filmed it when we got under contract with the house. We came back and I filmed an empty house tour because I knew that as soon as we got into the house, it was just gonna be full of stuff. So I did an empty house tour, and when I actually get this place set up, I'll show you what it looks like. But right now, it's too much of a mess. Like, I'd be tripping over stuff trying to show you. But yeah, thanks for watching. It's been fun. I mean, the house hunting journey really hasn't been fun, but it's been fun talking. It's been fun telling people about it. So thank you. Okay, I will see you next time. Bye.